What's up, everybody? Coach Widmer here with Mr. Joe, and this is our first ever Karoshi Combat Sports weekly show. Those of you guys who don't know, we have a supplemental MMA class held at Fallen Timbers at the Ohio Martial Arts Center. Big old sign that says dojo out at Fallen Timbers. The class is at noon every Sunday, every single Sunday. All you got to do is reach out to somebody from the dojo or reach out to Mr. Joe, myself, or our MMA coach, Mike Russell. Any one of those. But our class time is always Sunday at noon.
That's right. If you need anything, any information on our school, check out ohiomartialarts.com. Like Mike said, we're there every Sunday right at 12 o'clock. Really traditional school, not so much an MMA emphasis except for on Sundays. The rest of the time we're really focused on traditional martial art technique and keeping martial arts true to what it's really all about. The internal aspects, meditation, mindfulness. But I also like to think we know how to fight. So, we keep it once a week, making sure that we have plenty of time to get our training in during our regularly scheduled classes. A lot of us cross-train at other gyms, traveling all over the place. We have a lot of fighters coming in from other gyms to come train with us as well. Last summer I got an opportunity to go hang out at Muscle Farm and Dwayne Ludwig's gym out in Denver. So a lot of cool stuff going on. Just keeping it traditional.
And with the show, we're going to talk about some of the national UFC stuff. And this past weekend, Marlon Moraes and Jimmy Rivera fought in the main event of the UFC Fight Night that was on FS1. And that was awesome. I mean, it was quick, but the head kick was like incredible. I mean, yeah, it was really, especially when with a guy like Rivera who's like so. I mean, he'd been on a 20-fight win streak. You know what I mean? That's consistency right there. I mean, that you can't ask for more than that, especially in a sport like MMA. That the consistency just isn't there a lot of the time, even with really good guys. You know what I mean? Like those top level guys, sometimes they're not as consistent. But that's pretty big, and especially his fight with Faber was huge. And then, but the big one, the one I wanted to talk about was that Jared Brooks and Torres fight. When I first watched it, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, it was just like a fluke knockout," or and it did kind of look like that at first. And then I know you got a chance to train with him, spar with him pretty hard out at Denver, out at Muscle Farm. And when you came back, the first thing you said to me was his wrestling was just outstanding. And when I went back and watched that, you could see him actually adjust.
Oh yeah, he's a phenomenal wrestler. Like his striking was great, but you could tell his strength was really in his ability to wrestle and control that fight. He did this great job of as soon as that guy lifted him up, he clinches on with his hands, readjusts his hip, rolls over, and you could tell he knew what he was doing because he did not miss a beat. As soon as they hit the floor, he was on his back, just mashing.
Yeah, no, he knew what he was doing. He was going to his back to do that, whether he knocked him out with that. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you could see, even it was almost like he's seeing, oh, he's going to land on my head. I'll just move this way.
Yeah.
I know
and whether the knockout was intentional or not, he knew he was going to be on top.
Oh, absolutely. He positioned himself in the best way to fall, whereas Brooks did not, obviously. Yeah. Where he should have. You're controlling it, so you should be able to position yourself. That we talk about that going flat a lot, but, that's something we get into on Sundays, but, we'll talk about that a little more. But, and then on top of that, regionally this past weekend was a big Iron Tiger show. Daniel Haig won the Iron Tiger 135-pound championship over he's a really tough guy. He just boxed our MMA coach, Mike Russell, a few months ago. That was a split decision. That was a heck of a boxing match.
Great.
That was the fight of the night that night for sure. That was a really, really good one. And then, but the dude he fought Sakuti, who I believe is from Ronin, who's also really, really good. But Haig's stand-up looked good. So You know, there's
Well,
big things come from him. I
he's
think.
definitely growing as a striker too, because
Yeah.
he's got a heavy wrestling background. But yeah,
Well, and of all people who know, you know, sometimes to bring that along, you got to put yourself into that box and say, I got to go and just box. You know, that's kind of what you did.
Absolutely.
And like that's a big deal about it. So at least he's going out to and working on the stuff that he needs to, and it shows. Obviously, he's Iron Tiger, 135-pound champion, Iron Tiger. But obviously, that's a big one of the organizations that's been around here forever since I've started, and you know, one of the few. And then also the big heavyweight Ryan Paul Show had another big win. Got another belt. They have another belt for him, but I don't know if they considered it defending. I don't know if one of them's super heavyweight. He'll have to correct us on that. But either way, I trained with him for a long time down there at Sheila. He's a beast. We had to stop teaching him stuff because he was kicking our butt. But no, he's kicking other butts now, and that's good. Big shout out to Paul Show. He's the man. But yeah, that's kind of, and then Dominic Steele they had as the main event. They brought him out to fight that Travis Davis, who we had watched fight a few months before that at the Alliance MMA fight, and he's tough. Davis is tough, but Steele's tough, and that was a good fight. It was back and forth until the third round, I think it was. I'm not sure when it was when Steele took over. I know you didn't catch it.
Yeah, I didn't catch that fight.
Yeah, that was a pretty good fight. And then but then coming up this week actually tomorrow on NBC Sports Network, they got the Professional Fighters League, the first one that they're doing. And they're going all out for it. It's going to be on NBC SN. The main card starts at 9 p.m. And I know the two main events, honestly, there are a couple guys I don't know, but the two guys I do know is Andre Harrison, who's 17-0. And I mean, you don't need to say much about a guy who's 17-0. But then the other guy is Lance Palmer, who's 10-2, former Ohio wrestler. Tough dude. I think he's like, his dad's some kind of a wildlife. Don't quote me on that, but I believe his dad's some kind of a wildlife guy, and he used to wrestle bears as a kid. Fun fact. NBC Sports Network. But yeah, they're going all out. Lance Palmer, he's 10-2. He'll be fighting Bekbalat Magomedov, and then Andre Harrison will be fighting Jumabeki Turkson. Give it a shot. I think that's how you say it. And then also on the card, they got Marcos Galvao, Sean Jordan, Jared Rochalt, Jake Hune, Josh. And then this is a big fight, actually. I know it's not the huge names, but it's Josh Copeland versus Jake May, and that's going to be a really good fight. So those are some to watch for tomorrow, Thursday, 9 o'clock, NBCSN. Then on Friday, you got the LFA fights. Those are coming to you from Branson, Missouri. I believe they're on pay-per-view. And then June 9th, the fun one will be to watch. This one is on pay-per-view. It's a Kasai Sports, I believe, KSW. But it's in Poland, but Maurice Pujanowski's fighting again. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, I love watching him in the old World's Strongest Man stuff. Beast. Just a beast. I love the dude. Fun to watch fight because it's just so crazy and strong. But and then after that on Saturday, you got the UFC pay-per-view. For the main event, we have the two championship fights, the 170-pound interim title fight, and then the 185-pound, I believe it's just the full title now. I don't know if St. Pierre's technically stripped or if it's for an interim title again. I don't know, but I think it's for the full 185. Who knows now with the stuff they do? It's hard to keep up anyways. But until George St. Pierre throws like a dolly through a bus window, I think he's going to be all right. I don't think they take it from him. But as far as we got Colby and RDA, that's a big one to watch. They're going to be hopefully kicking the crap out of each other. But mostly, hopefully, RDA kicking the crap out of Colby. I seen on Twitter just a couple of hours ago that he told Ariel that he's going to take... First, he called the Cavs, Warriors, and Philadelphia Eagles all idiots for not wanting to go visit Trump. And then he said that he's going to take the interim title to visit Trump. So I don't know. I think it'd be pretty funny if Trump was just like, it's cool. Why don't you just keep it and stay at home? I don't need none of that. Because that'd be pretty fitting. Because I just see Colby as that kind of guy. Like, I wouldn't want to be around him.
I wonder if Trump's an MMA fan.
Well, he had a stake in that Affliction, I believe, the one that they had Randy Couture fight in. Who did Couture fight on that? No, maybe Couture was just a part of it. Or I'm thinking of Arlovsky versus Fedor, and I'll never forget that. Arlovsky flying through the air, throwing that flying knee, and Fedor just coming over top with that right hand. Sick. It was nasty. But so anyways, for Whitaker and Yoel, I think Yoel's gonna get him this time. I think you give Yoel 30 minutes with anybody, he's gonna find something to catch you with, right? I mean,
Yoel's
Whitaker's tough.
Animal. Yoel's he's a freak.
Yeah, he is. He's a genetic freak. But Whitaker's good. Whitaker's
tough.
And that's, I think,
Yoel's
the
an
thing.
alien, man.
No, but Whitaker's got skills, and he's got the athleticism to back it up. Whitaker's very skilled, and he showed that his fight with. And everybody, we keep going back and forth. One of them's hurt. One of them's not hurt. One of them was hurt. Both of them were hurt. I don't know. It's hard to measure which one was hurt more. You know what I mean? So we'll go into it. See who wins this one. It's gonna be exciting. So yeah, I'm gonna pick Yoel. Is that who you're going, Yoel?
I'm definitely going Yoel.
I'm gonna hold you to it, so you guys can hold us to it too. We're gonna pick the two main events, and you guys can yell at us when we pick them wrong.
Yeah.
And then for Colby and RDA, who you going with?
Gotta be Dos Anjos.
Dos Anjos. All right. So hopefully this ain't the only time, hopefully this is the only time that we do this, but we're gonna pretty much pick with the same thing because I'm going RDA too. I like him too, and I like him at 170. I think he's tough at 170.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think he's one. So yeah, that's my pick. RDA is my pick.
Yeah, we got Megan Anderson versus Holly Holm. Holmes is a beast. I like watching her fight a lot.
Who doesn't? Anderson's tough, but I think she's kind of I don't want to call her a punching bag. I don't want to, but at the same time, for Holly Holm, there are not many people that aren't going to be a punching and kicking bag.
I think anybody that fights Holly Holmes is pretty much a punching bag with arms. What do we got? Arlovsky and Taitavasu.
That'll be a good one.
Saying that.
Yeah, anytime Arlovsky fights, that's exciting.
We've got CM Punk and Mike Jackson. I don't think we really need to call out that one.
Well, I don't care. I don't care. I think, although I'm more interested to see what Mike Jackson can shoot. Because really, there's your story.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not CM Punk, who's this guy with a bunch of money that wanted to, stay in the limelight. You know what I mean? Here's this story that's Mike Jackson, that guy that's been run under the rug for Mickey. He was brought in for Mickey Gall to beat. And he went out and won some fights, and now he comes back, and here we are. He fought his way back, and now he's getting the guy that he was fighting to fight. So if he would have beat Gall, he would have got Jackson.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry. If Jackson would have beat Gall, he would have got Punk. Brooks. He would have got Phil. Phil Brooks is who he would have CM Punk.
I mean, CM Punk might pull some Karate Kid stuff and
you never know. He looked good. He looks a lot leaner than he was. I will say that. Yeah. Punk does at Rufus's. All right.
Blades and Overeem.
Oh, that'll be a good one. Now you trained with Blades out at at Muscle Farm. That was at Bang, right?
Yeah,
Bang Muay Thai.
Yeah.
That's where that's where Blades' striking's come from. And he looks comfortable in there striking. More and more every fight he has. Oh, yeah. This will be one to tell, though. I mean, there's not too many people that look good striking out there.
No, Blades, he's going to one of the pretty phenomenal striking coach. So, Dwayne Ludwig's pretty good at his job. So we'll see what happens. He's definitely, even since the day.
Yeah, you even went back, right?
Yeah.
You took one and then just on one vacation. Yeah, and then you're going to go back down there in a couple weeks over out at Denver. If anybody wants to hop along with Joey and take a ride to Denver, he's going.
Let's go.
Go to Bang Muay Thai. You did that right before You're like second, third boxing matches, right?
Second one, yeah, right before
Okay.
my second match.
Cool.
Yeah. And what do we got? Carla and Esperanza versus
Carla Esparza versus Claudia Gadelha. Yeah. Then Ricardo Lamas, Merced Bektik. You got Guida Oliveira. Benavides and Pettis is going to be interesting. Sergio Pettis, not whatever. Yeah, Anthony.
Yeah.
Not Anthony. Sergio. Benavides is mad that he's on the prelims though. So, and I agree. I like watching Benavides fight. I like watching the 125s fight. I know a lot of people don't, but
that might light a fire under his ass. So when
we'll see.
When people doubt you, it kind of makes you want to push the pace a little bit. So we'll see what happens.
And then Sugar fighting Smith. Rashad Evans versus Smith. Honestly, it probably might be a swan song for Rashad. It might be, but we'll see. He might come out and surprise us. Smith's tough though. We'll see. And then locally, coming up, July 14th, we have the Demolition Boxing Series. And that the doors will open, I believe, at 6:30. I just seen the poster today. I believe the doors will open at 6:30. Fights will start around 7:30. If you haven't been to one of these are like one of the funnest times I've had. The place is Cowboys and Angels. It's a really cool bar. Like, it's a big setup. It's real wide open. Plenty of areas. They got some VIP lounges right off to the side that aren't closed off or anything. You can see right to the boxing. It's raised a little bit so you can see over people. Really good people there. It's all the guys from Demolition, so it's all those good guys that we know. They're not just good fighters; they're really respectable, and everybody's pretty. Last time we were there was a bit of I wouldn't even call it a scuffle. It was just people talking loud to each other, talking loud, and a guy ended up signing up to box for the next one. This one coming up, so I think he's boxing on this one. Okay, but that's just the way it is there. Like, if people run their mouth, it's like, oh, you can go the right way about it and sign up and box. And that's kind of those guys' mentality, and that's kind of our mentality, and that's why we've always gotten along with those guys. But that's July 14th at Cowboys and Angels Demolition Boxing. We're going to have Logan Kyle, Chris Mitchell, and Mike Russell all boxing on that card. So that'll be a really good one to go to. But yeah, this will hopefully we'll look forward to getting some more announcements for you guys for next week. We're working on some stuff for the dojo. We might have something coming up there that's special as well. But until then, we'll see you guys on Sunday at Ohio Martial Arts Center, at Fallen Timbers, at noon. And we'll see you here next week to talk about the upcoming MMA fights regionally, nationally. I don't know. Maybe some comic book stuff. I don't know. We'll figure something to talk about. If you guys want us to talk about something or you have a correction for us, leave it in the comments or come see us on Sunday. Later.